Well, greetings everybody. I want to talk a little bit more in depth about how we can use the graphing tool here for a problem like this one. Now, when I do this problem, I'm just going to graph that second inequality right there. What I say would apply to the first one too, or any of the other ones that you might see. So, let's take 3x minus y is less than 7 and talk about that. So I would like to graph this inequality. The way I would proceed is to first solve it for y. Okay, so I'd move the 3x to the right like that. Then I would have this negative y, and I would need to multiply or divide both sides of this by -1, which if I did, I would get y and then -7 and then positive 3x. But whenever we're dealing with an inequality of any kind, if we have to multiply both sides or divide both sides by any negative number, the inequality is going to switch directions. So notice it changes from less than to greater than. It will always switch. So to graph this, I need to start by graphing the line y equals -7 plus 3x. The way that I'll do that, this is not the only way, but the way that I'll do it, and I think many people will, is to plot 2 points. It's a line, so you only need 2 points. You don't need 3. 2 is enough. Plot 1 point where x is 0 and 1 point where y is 0. Okay? You could plot any 2 points, but these are 2 generally accessible points. If I put x to be 0, I get y to be -7. That'll be 1 point. If I put y to be 0, okay, and I solve for x, I'll get x is 7/3. Now, whether we use 7/3 or 2.333, let's see if that matters. Okay, so I'm going to graph this using the graphing tool. I'll select line. I'll make it dashed because it is a strict inequality. It says y is greater than -7 plus 3x. And I need to select my 2 points. I'm just going to select them and then I'll move them around the way that I want. So I've got my 2 points on there. So let me just edit them. And I mean, I know you can move them, but I think that's a little bit awkward. So I'll click on the point and I'll edit it. So one of my points was 0 for x, -7 for y. So I can just type that in instead of trying to move it and get it where I want. All right, so now it's down there at 0 for x, -7 for y. That other point was 0 for y, 7/3 for x. So let's click this one. Let's edit it. So 0 for y, and then I'll do 7/3 for x. The way I can do that is on my numerical keypad, I'll just use the division symbol and do 7 divide by 3. And as soon as I hit divide by, it turns it into a fraction. So that's how I can get that point the way that I need it, instead of trying to drag the points around. Okay. Anyway, because it would be hard if you were just dragging them around to land it on 7/3 or 2.3, and then I think you risk getting it wrong. So anyway, I can click submit and it will put that point where it needs to be, which I know to you would be hard to drag it to that spot. Okay. Then what do I want to do? Well, so I got the line on there. There's the line. And it says y is greater than, so as far as shading goes, we're including all the points above the line. So I can click like that. There's all the points above the line. Okay, now we just have to repeat that for the other inequality, but the procedure would be the same.